today's video is going to be on how much money do I need to backpack Australia? A question that comes up time and time again all over the internet, and people have asked me personally, friends and family, is Australia expensive? Yes, it is. Don't be under any illusions, it's not cheap to live here, but there is a saving grace. And that is, if you're on a working holiday, obviously you will hopefully be working, and the wages are pretty damn good in Australia. The least I've been on, well, apart from working for accommodation, which obviously I got my accommodation free, but I didn't get paid a salary. The cheapest wages I've been on was $18 an hour, which I think is actually maybe a little bit under Australian minimum wage, but on a Sunday I did get 27 an hour, so it kind of made up for it. And currently I'm earning $25 an hour. Now, when you think that in the UK my highest paying wage has ever been £8 an hour, which is the equivalent of about $16, maybe $17, gives you an idea. And the jobs I've doing have been pretty basic. They're not skilled. They've been waitressing or working behind a service counter, kitchen hand type thing. You can see that the wages are good here. So bear in mind that with what I'm going to be giving you prices for, that the wages will balance that out slightly. The easiest way for me to say how much you will need to backpack Australia is to break it down into categories. That this is very subjective. One person will be so different to another. Like, your experience will not be anywhere near the same as your friends or someone staying in your hostel. What you want to get out of your trip will be completely different. How long you are here, for example. Maybe you're only thinking of doing 3 months. Maybe you just want to do the East Coast. Your costs will be very different to someone that is staying here for a year and travelling the entirety of Australia. How you live your life will change the amount that you spend. For example, maybe you only drink a little bit once or twice every so often, or maybe you want to come out here and party hard. Like, that will change things. Alcohol is expensive. It will be cheaper if you don't drink or drink less. Maybe you smoke. If you smoke, the costs are I'm guessing pretty similar to the UK. I'll go into that in more detail. And also, like, your diet. You might be happy to live off of shit white bread and noodles and very few vegetables or meat alternatives if you're vegetarian like myself. And that's fine, that's your choice, and you will save a lot of money doing that. But then you'll have other people on the other end of the spectrum who like good quality food, who like their nutrition, and even when backpacking don't want to compromise too much on that. So, like I said, very subjective. There is a blog post to explain things in more detail and more depth, but this is just a little overview of kind of what you might be able to expect to spend here. First of all, you've got to get here, right? You can't just magic yourself here. And to be allowed in the country, you need a visa. A working holiday visa, 417, for people from the UK, when I got mine, was £240, and it took like 24 hours to come through online. Great, but that's your first cost straight off. Then you've got to get your flights. So Skyscanner is awesome. Go through Skyscanner. It's a price comparison website for flights, and I managed to get mine through them for £320. Maida's in the background photobombing my video. Yep. Hi, Maida. She can hear me talking. Right, so where the hell were we? Flights, yeah, I got mine for £320 on Skyscanner. Amazing deal. It was with a good airline, it's with Cathay Pacific, and yeah, that was good. So go through them. They'll give you a range of options. Obviously the cheaper ones, you might have longer stopovers, or it might be a less well-known company, but look at it, and sometimes it is actually cheaper to go through the airline themselves. So see what's there. Go over to the airline's website, see the prices there. If there's not much difference, personally, I prefer to go through the airline direct, because if there's any issues, I always think it's going to be easier to sort out than through a third party. That's your first two costs. You've got your visa and you've got your flights. You might want to book a return flight, but to be honest, you don't know probably when you're coming home. Maybe you want to stop off somewhere on the way. Maybe you want to do a little bit of Asia on the way back, or it's a long flight. You might not want to do the whole lot in one go. The next thing, and probably your biggest expense, is going to be accommodation. Now, hostels in Australia tend to range between about $24 and $33 a night for a shared room. Going by that, I'm going on an average of $28 a night. So, a lot of the hostels will do you a deal. If you do a week's booking at a time, they'll knock you some off. So with $28 a night and the knock off that the hostel may do for you, I'm pricing that at $180 a week. Quite a lot of money. And if we say 40 weeks out of 52 on your year's working holiday, you are in a hostel, that will be $7,200 or £3,470. Now, there's a lot of ways to save money on accommodation. For example, working for accommodation, Airbnb, couch surfing. They're all things I'm going to do videos and blog articles on in more detail for you. So don't think, oh my God, there's no way I can afford to do this. There are ways. But that's your basic accommodation cost. Food. Like I said, really depends on what your regular diet is and how happy you are to eat rubbish, to be honest. What's going to be coming up in front of you is a basic shopping list of Woolworths, which is one of the main supermarkets' own brand products that I've put together. I did this literally yesterday. It was done on the 6th of December 2015. So you've got bread, you've got strawberry jam, you've got a kilo of wheat biscuits, which is like Weetabix, 500 grams of spiral pasta, a pasta sauce, 10 packs of chicken noodles, 6 free-range eggs, a packet of butter, 24 cheese slices and 2 litres of milk. Now, some of that will last you more than a week, but for all of that, it is $20.82, which is £10.05p. Where the money's going to really start going up is fruit and veg, meat and vegetarian substitutes like tofu, veggie burgers, stuff like that. So going by just the new shopping list in front of you, 500 grams of bananas, a pack of mushrooms, 1 bag of carrots, 500 grams of broccoli, 1 red pepper and 1 yellow pepper, or capsicum if you're here. Pepper. Add that on to what we've said first, that's $42.15 a week, or £20.34. Now that's without any of your meat products, your veggie substitutes, your treats, your drinks. That is your basic. So running on that and an average backpacker spend of between $30 to $80 a week on food, I'm allowing you $50 for your food shop for a week, and I've put into the calculation $20 for eating out. Like, even a coffee, you expect to spend $4, unless you go to 7-Eleven where they're $1 but pretty iffy coffee. So $20 eating out, drinks, etc., not alcoholic, that's coming later, allows you $70 per week on food. So in a year, that's $3,640 or £1,754. Now, that might be less than you spend at home, I have no idea. The costs that you can see on the screen in front of you are the travel costs that I have so far in my trip. Some have been prepaid for the next leg of our journey, and this is based on 32 weeks. So there is $30 bus fare, $15 train fare, 2 taxi journeys in Perth, $70, an internal flight, Jetstar, Broome to Darwin, $282.50, an internal flight Darwin to Cairns with Qantas, $275.26. The Greyhound coach from Derby to Broome was $56.04, and the hop on hop off, which is the best value Greyhound service from Cairns to Melbourne, was $529.38. I've also added into that the fuel costs from our car from our 19 days on the Western Australia coast road trip that we did. So shared between two of us, that was $286.27. So 32 weeks, the total travel cost I've got is $1,544.45, which when calculated, divided, subtracted into weeks, put together into 52 weeks for a working holiday, that gives me a travel total for a whole year of $2,138 and the equivalent of £1,031. It's not as much as you might think. Activities, there are so many activities to do here, and it will be again very subjective. You might not want to go do your dive course, that will cost a fortune to do your open water paddy. Maybe you are scared of heights, you're not going to bungee jump or skydive. It's very personal. So what's in front of you is the activities that I've done or am hoping to do while I'm here over the entire course of the year. Caversham Wildlife Park, $26. Rottnest Island, including the ferry, snorkels and bikes for a day, $100. The Whitsunday Islands one-day boat trip, $150. Fraser Island, 2 days, 1 night, $350. Crocosaurus Cove, which would be the entry, and the Cage of Death, which would be split between 2 people sharing, $125. A surf lesson in Byron Bay, I really want to do that, $65. And my bucket list, my tandem skydive, but that's without pictures or video, which you're not allowed to take yourself. They will charge you about $150 for the package. Without that package, $320. So for 1 year, activities wise, that's $1,171 or £564.89, which actually isn't as much as I was expecting when you think of all the amazing stuff you get to do in that. Moving on. Now, actually, before we move on, it's important to say that for some people, that will be all their cost, or the majority of their costs. There's backpackers out there, believe it or not, they don't drink. I've met a few backpackers that don't drink. Alcohol is expensive. You can expect to pay in a city or even a pub in Derby, between $9 and $13 for a pint of beer. The cheapest beer I found in Perth was in a really nice bar, you must go, Ezra Pound. For their house beer was $6, their IPA, and a rum and coke in there was $9. A bottle of rum on offer in Derby, $38. So that gives you an idea of the cost of some of the alcohol. Now, what I have factored in for your time in Australia is, to be honest, far more than I would drink, and probably far less than some people would drink. So going on a carton of beer, which is 24 bottles, being $40, a 4-litre box of Goon, $12, and one big night out in a city, $100 a week. That's $152 a week on alcohol, on booze. Yeah, a lot. I've not done it for 52 weeks because I'm going to factor in that you might be working or hungover or maybe detoxing. Maybe. But for 40 weeks at $152 a week, that is $6,080 on alcohol alone, which is the equivalent of £2,933. But then a night out in the UK isn't exactly cheap, so easily spend £50-60 on a night out in the UK, and that's $100-110 roughly. So although it sounds huge numbers, think about what you do normally. Is it that much more than you would spend normally? If you're a smoker, I did say cigarettes are expensive. The cheapest pack of cigarettes that I've asked people about is about $16 for a 20 pack, and if someone say smokes 3 a week, that would be $48. So tobacco is cheaper. You can get a 25 gram of tobacco for about $22, and then you've got your filters and your papers and I don't know what else on top. But for the calculation I'm going to give you guys, I'm doing 3 packs a week at $48. Is going to cost $2,496 a year on smoking. Quit. If you smoke, quit now. Save that money. Look, that's more than your activities. It's so much. And the equivalent in English pounds is £1,203. So that is your basics. This video is already really long. I did say there's a blog post, more detail, etc. I don't want to keep you guys on forever, but I wanted to give you a rough idea of how much you can expect to spend. So for a year, with just the travel, accommodation, food and activities, which is, like I said, all that some people will need or have, not including alcohol or cigarettes, that is a grand total of $14,149 or £6,820. For those of you that don't want to travel a whole year in Australia, I've broken it down into a month. So for a month, that is $1,179 or £568. If you are adding alcohol into that equation from my calculations, you can expect to spend a year $20,229. Or £9,753. To make it less scary numbers, that is a month for all of your food, travel, accommodation and alcohol, $1,685 a month or £812. Now, if you love a good party and you smoke and drink and you want to do all of the other bits as well, 1 year working holiday in Australia will cost you the grand total of $22,725 or £10,963. On a monthly average, with those included, that's $1,893, £912. Guys, like I said, this is not the set amount you will spend by any means. Your costs will vary greatly. This is just a guideline. I can't stress that enough. It really is just a guideline. You will be able to save money in so many areas, even alcohol. Like, there's backpacker nights. They have vouchers come to hostels whereby if you get a group of 10 people together, you get $100 of drinks free. Accommodation, like I said, you can save on. Travel, get with another group of backpackers and pay fuel in a car and get a lift to the next place. Like, there's so many ways to save. This is not the be all and end all, but I wanted to give you a rough idea because I think it's helpful. For more in-depth article, head on over to www.nomadicunicorn.com, my blog. I am on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Keep up to date. More videos coming soon. If this has been helpful or you have any questions or you want to comment below, please feel free, and make sure you like and subscribe. I will see you guys soon.